And
For that 24/7.
we can do a glamping, a glamping
glamping.
business in the other town.
That'd be fun. Get your 4-year free and your glamping next year. Okay. But here.
You. Hello, we're going to delay the start of this meeting for just a couple of minutes while our fifth board member is making his way here. We believe he'll be on here any moment now, and then we'll start immediately after. Yes. Okay, I call this meeting of the Mount San Jacinto Community College District Board of Trustees to order. This is a special meeting. It is Thursday, April 23rd. It is 2:02. All board members are present, but we will go ahead and do a pledge of allegiance and a roll call in a moment. So with that, I believe we have a very small flag we're going to pledge today. If everyone could stand, please face the flag.
It's smaller.
Oh, and Trustee Carpenter, will you help us get started?
Please hand over our heart, begin. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
allegiance to the flats.
Item 1.3, roll call, establishment of quorum.
Trustee Ashley.
Present.
Trustee Carpenter.
Present.
Trustee Smith.
Present.
Trustee Corona.
Present.
Trustee Silva.
Here.
Thank you. Moving on to item 2.1, public comments of individual groups, delegations limited to agenda items. We do have one public comment submission by Michelle Vogeltraut. As soon as you're ready, you can begin.
Members of the Board of Trustees, colleagues, and community members, my name is Emily Collins by proxy, and I have served as an associate faculty member at Mount San Jacinto College for nearly 12 years. I speak today in support of Dr. Tawny Dotson for Superintendent President. In this moment, our institution is not simply choosing a leader, we are choosing a direction. We are choosing whether our stated commitment to equity will remain aspirational or whether it will finally become operational. Dr. Dotson demonstrates a clear understanding of the issue that cannot continue to be sidelined, the structural inequities between full-time and associate faculty. Associate faculty deliver a substantial portion of the instruction at this college. We teach core courses, support student success, and sustain enrollment. Yet we continue to do so while navigating significant disparities in compensation, access to benefits, and long-term stability. These are not abstract concerns. They directly impact the consistency of instruction, the well-being of faculty, and ultimately the experience of our students. What sets Dr. Dotson apart is not simply that she acknowledges these realities, but that she engages with them directly. She recognizes that equity must extend inward and not just outward. That the conditions under which faculty work are inseparable from the conditions under which students learn. Closing the equity gap between part-time and full-time faculty is not a peripheral issue. It is central to institutional integrity. It requires leadership that is willing to listen, to collaborate in good faith, and to make decisions that reflect both fiscal responsibility and human impact. Dr. Dotson has shown a willingness to do this work. At a time when many institutions speak broadly about equity, we have the opportunity to select a leader who understands that equity is measured in outcomes, not language. For those reasons, I strongly support Dr. Tawny Dotson as the next Superintendent President of Mount San Jacinto College. Thank you so much. Emily Collins, Chapter Chair, Associate Faculty Union, UPTE, CWA 9119.
Thank you. Are there any other comment? No. We are now moving to item 3, closed session. I will read the closed session because it's important to the topic of today. So first of all, 3.2 for closed session is public employee appointment pursuant to Government Code Section 5495-7, title Superintendent President. We do not need to adjourn to closed session. We're going to open nominations in public, foregoing the closed session deliberations. So at this time, we are remaining open, and I will now accept a nomination for our new superintendent president.
I move that the board offer the position of Superintendent President to Dr. Tawny Dotson and authorize the board chair to work with legal counsel to negotiate the terms of the contract.
We have a motion for Tawny Dotson. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Before we vote, is there anyone that would like to comment on this appointment? Well, then I will. as the entire college community knows, because they've been involved in it from the beginning in October, we've worked very hard, had a very large search committee, a nationwide search. We hired, the board hired the search company or the Association of Community College Trustees, which is exactly what we are trained to do. We go to ACCT conferences all the time. We found in those conferences and in California community conferences that, you know, you need to get a reputable search firm. And we went with the largest and most reputable, in my opinion, which is the ACCT, to guide us along in this process. So doing that, we worked with Dr. Pamela Fisher to put together a large search committee, 16 members, along with an EEO designee, Juno Fernandez, to make sure we stayed on track with equal employment guidelines. We had a liaison to the board, Jackie Morrison, who did a fantastic job and had to do basically 2 jobs at the same time, and we really appreciate that. Superintendent Schultz wisely separated himself from the entire process and did not in any way like get himself involved, meddle, probe, ask little personal questions. He stayed out of it completely, which sometimes I wish I could ask him more questions, but he was very adamant that this was our decision to make and he didn't want to influence it one way or the other. We went from a list of 63 or 62 candidates down to, which was difficult, down to a smaller group that we did Zoom calls from around the country, narrowed it down again to 4. We lost one of our finalists to Saddleback College, but and all the finalists were qualified, good people, and I really appreciate all the work they did to go through the gauntlet of applying. It was a lot of work, but in the end, I think Dr. Tani Dotson was by far the best fit for all of us. She was outstanding in every community forum and every interview, her paperwork, her background checks, her experience at Yuba College. And what I enthusiastically and wholeheartedly look forward to the board voting unanimously for Dr. Tani Dotson. That concludes my comments. Are there any others?
I'll make one statement about it. I'm glad you acknowledged all of that. You know, yesterday we talked about it briefly, and I told Dr. Pamela Fisher when this all started, I tend to like to do things simple. And it's like, why do we have to go through this whole process? It's really cost a lot of money and a lot of people's time. And I explained to her in the end, I said, you know, this was like reading a book about water law. When you start out reading a book, it's about that thick, and it starts out reading about the Spaniards. You go, what do I got to know about the Spaniards? And then when you get to the end of the book, you understand why you had to go through that whole process. But it was well worth the whole process. And I know a lot of people had a lot of time invested in that. But at least when you get to the end, you know, there was nothing left undone. So it was a good process.
Right? Trustee
I have
Carpenter?
to say that, you know, we heard those, many of you were on the committee, you know, and we took into consideration your comments and your thoughts. And in the open forum, there were, I think, 82 responses. There was a lot of responses, and there was no negative comment that we could find for this candidate. And so with her background check and everything, it all seemed to come into play for the speed that the candidate that we needed to guide our college going forward.
I will add a thing. I just wanted to be clear. We had 62 candidates. And like I said, you know, sometimes when we went from a large number to a smaller number, none of us got our way completely. We all gave and took and argued our way into agreement, and we agreed. Like, we heard each other out. I want everyone to know that even though like some candidates may be, like I said earlier, like one was offered a position somewhere else. Dr. Tani Dotson was actually the kind of from early on seen as the strongest candidate. Like I feel that we got our number one pick. We didn't accidentally call her out or someone out. Like she really was fantastic. And there were many fantastic candidates that would have been fine, but for where we're at right now as a college and the fit we're looking for right now and the needs we've heard expressed by the committee and the public, like we feel that she was the single best. Like we didn't lose anybody that we were hoping for. We got what we feel like was our best candidate. Trustee Corona.
I want to say that everything that I observed, everything that I've seen, Dr. Dodson, I would say she's excellent and short of amazing. She's gonna really bring more energy, excitement to not just the college but for the whole region. As a trustee, I'm excited
Mhm.
for the future. Like I have 3 daughters and I'm excited for them.
Yes, and thank you, Trustee Corona.
And in conclusion, sorry, I want to thank this trustee Ashley. We all did a lot of work, but this gentleman did a lion's share of everything and working closely with Jackie. I want to acknowledge Jackie's hard work as well. But the hours they put in, the conversations they had, the work that they had to do behind the scenes,
The late night phone calls.
monumentous. So, and I know what my role was, which was way less than his, and I was overwhelmed. It was daunting. So I know what he must have gone through. And I appreciate the trustees' support along the way and understanding the process.
Okay, and I'm the only person that we haven't really mentioned right now is Dr. Schultz, other than talking about how he kept himself out of the process. And we aren't happy to see Dr. Schultz go. I have loved, and I still love working with Roger. He has been a iconic and consequential president for this institution. 18 years on the job, expanding to a new campus, new buildings, new programs. And I think Dr. Schultz would agree, like it was his decision. He decided he wants to step down and retire. And so he put us in this position, but we feel that we found an excellent complement, not, to evolve and not have a revolution. We're having evolution, and we're going to get better, but we're not going to turn everything upside down of all the great work that the college has done. So I think I've now made 3 or 4 comments. I'm done. Sorry. Trustees, please. Do you want to do a roll call on this? Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do a roll call vote.
Trustee Ashley,
Yes.
trustee Carpenter.
Aye.
Trustee Corona,
Aye.
trustee Smith,
Aye.
trustee Silva.
Yes.
That's 5-0 vote. The vote is to hire Dr. Connie Dotson. Pending negotiations on a final contract. Yes, of course, we have to get ink on the contract. That contract should be settled and signed in open session in a regular board meeting on our May 14th Thursday board meeting. That's when the final ink should be dried and voted upon. But as of now, I am certain that Dr. Tani Dotson is excited to take the position that we're not going to call her up and she says, "Oh, sorry, I cooked something else." I'm certain he got her. And I hope that she can wrap herself up in bubble wrap so nothing happens to her and no one gets hurt before she starts. No accidents. Let's get her here safe and sound, July 1, 2026. And with that, we move to adjournment. 5.1. Our next meeting, as just mentioned, is Thursday, May 14th in our normal large boardroom. So it will be at 4 p.m. and I'll accept.
So roomy in here.
It is very cozy. I will accept a motion to adjourn. I move to adjourn.
I'll send.
We have a motion and a second. Those, any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Aye. Thank you. All right.
Good job, everyone.
Done. Okay.
It's over.